Hi everybody, I'm Starhawk and I'm going to show you something really cool today. I'm going to show you how to make an A-frame. An A-frame is an ancient tool for finding contour on the land. So when I say contour, what I mean is if you could take a landscape, let's say my hand is a mountain. Right? You were trying to walk up that mountain, you'd be walking upslope. But if you were trying to walk on contour, you'd be walking along on a line that's just exactly level in relationship to gravity and sea level. And when you look at a contour map, you'll see that the lines are on there and it will show how the elevations go up maybe every 40 feet. When you want to find contour on the land, it seems like it should be simple. But the thing is that the land's moving up and down and it's hilly and wavy, and how do you actually find what's level in relationship to a landscape that's full of curves and full of dips and where there is no straight line on it that says this is sea level or this is 300 feet above. When you look at a contour map, you'll see those lines and they're found by surveyors. But there is a way you can find it yourself, and this is an ancient technique. It's a technique that was used in building the pyramids and probably long before that. And I will say this, we've always said, this was used in building the pyramids. Last year I had the amazing privilege of going to Egypt and teaching a permaculture course there. And when I was in the Egyptian museum, they had a special exhibit on tools and mathematics, and I looked, and sure enough, there was an A-frame. A little one made of ivory, so we weren't lying about that. So what we're going to do is you start with 3 sticks. They don't have to be, dimensional lumber. They don't have to be great shape. Sturdy helps. They don't have to even be the same length. But you need 3 of them. And you need some string. I'm using some baling twine, came off a straw bale, because one of the permaculture principles is waste is a resource. So instead of wasting this and throwing it away, I'm going to use it for something. And you don't have to tie fantastic Boy Scout knots, although that's helpful. But I'm going to start with the way I like to do it with is something called a trucker's hitch. So you start with a loop and you make that loop a little bigger. You take your loop and you make it into a knot. Yeah. Tight. I can take this knot and when I pull back against it, it tightens up. Now I'm going to wrap this around. Just about 3 times is probably good with this thickness of a rope. And then I'm going to take it and go around the inside. Tighten that. And now I can take it and I can do what's called a half hitch. So I'm just taking this around and tucking it in. And that'll tighten up as I pull on it. And I might decide to, do a second one, double half hitch, just to give it a little more tightness. And I might just tie off this end here. My friend Charles, who you will know if you're taking the course. If you're not taking the course, I hope you get to meet him sometimes. He actually was an Eagle Scout in his youth, and he always says, if you don't know how to tie a really good knot, just tie a lot of them. So, okay, so now we've got these two tied together, and when I open them up, it's going to tighten that knot even more. Now I'm going to tie on the A part of the A-frame. So I'm going to take my third stick. And I want this to be not super close to the ground, not super close to the top. It's somewhere kind of in the middle here. And take my string again. If you're doing this at home, you know, you can try this. You could make it out of 3 pencils and some string and just experiment with it. You can try it with some other sticks. You can make big ones, you can make small ones. So I'm wrapping it around the back and then over one side, back, the other side. You know, just kind of wrapping it around and around a few times to get it nice and tight. And then again, taking it around the knot in the middle. And tie it off with a couple of half hitches. Okay. And now I'm going to tie the other side. You know, it's nice if you get this kind of even and level, but it doesn't absolutely have to be. That's the great thing about this. It's very forgiving. So once again, we'll make our little loop. Fit through the loop. Again, wrapping it around and around a few times, and then a little cross here, and taking it around the middle. And I'm going to tie it off with a couple hitches. Okay, we've got an A-frame. And again, it doesn't have to be even, doesn't have to be any particular angles, but it does need to be tight enough to be sturdy. And now we're going to take one more string, and we're going to tie a string that's going to hang down in the middle here. So this, you just want it to hang down kind of in the middle. And there's no particular way you have to tie it. Okay, now I need to go find a weight to hang on it. So now we've got our 3 sticks, we've got our central string, and what I'm going to do is tie a weight onto the end. You can use almost anything. You can use a stone. Bill Mollison was famous for using a beer bottle. I'm using this old wrecked up, overly rusted pair of pruners just because it looked like it was something that'd be easy to tie to. And it just needs to hang down. Now what we've got is we've got the string is hanging straight in relationship to gravity. It's vertical. And now we're going to kind of calibrate this A-frame. We're going to see, first of all, we're going to mark each place where each foot is. This is easier to do with 2 people, but we're social distancing. So I'm going to put a little flag. If you don't have these nice little surveyor's flags, you can use a couple of stones or a couple of little sticks, anything. It's going to just mark where the 2 feet are. Okay. And now I'm going to see where that string is hitting against the central bar. And I'm going to put a little mark there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse the 2 feet. And now I'm going to see where the string hits again. So give it a little minute. Okay, and now what I can do is I'm going to measure in between the 2. So you could do that with a measuring tape, or you could do it with another little piece of string. Just measuring from the first mark and the second mark. And folding it in half. And I'm going to put a nice big mark right there. So that mark that's right in the middle is going to tell me if I can move the feet around to where the string is hitting that mark in the middle, then those 2 feet are going to be level. Now if I wanted to find contour on this ground,